What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Brandon Coin YouTube channel. And as you can see behind me, one of my PCs is missing. It's not out here in the garage anymore. That's because in North Carolina, it is starting to get cold. What's so fuzzy when I look over that way? There we go. Yeah, so it's starting to get pretty chilly outside. That means I need to move some of these little heat generators inside. But in the process of doing that, I've been comparing unminable with Hive to running Windows natively and then running the Kryptex auto switcher on top of Windows. And normally, and I will admit that Hive or Linux, I get a little bit higher hash rate on the CPU mining. I don't necessarily get a higher hash rate on the GPU side, but the auto profit switching on Kryptex seems like I end up making more on the Windows machine that's on Kryptex. So I'm gonna pull this machine. It's currently running Hive on Linux. I'm gonna pull it out here, install Windows on a little cheap SSD, like a 120 gig drive, nothing crazy, because we're only gonna be putting Kryptex on it. And previously I only had it CPU mining. We're gonna go ahead and throw a GPU in there to create some more heat, also earn some more revenue, and then moving it inside. Because, I mean, that's the name of the game here, is let's optimize our heat. These are what I call profit heaters right there. So let me pull this out. I'll show you what we're talking about and we'll go from there. All right, so fun little fact here. This system you see in front of me is not one of the Xeons that I have littered around the office, but had a little yellow tag on it. That's because I did previously have this system for sale. I know. Well, I was like, why is this shoved over here? Because I was trying to find a good graphics card to match up for one of these Xeons, because some of these Xeons don't have really big power supplies. They are platinum rated, which is nice for like efficiency and reliability, but like most of them have like 350 to 400 watt power supplies. So you got to be a little mindful about what you put in there. And then I was looking at this system. I'm like, oh, there's a graphics card in there. There is actually a 1070 hybrid, or sorry, a 1070 Ti hybrid. I need to unplug those lights. They're playing havoc with my camera. But yeah, so 1070 Ti hybrid. And I'm like, why do I have this just sitting here? It's got a yellow tag on it. Why is it not listed on my web store for sale? And then it hit me. I remember my kid came out here and actually had bumped into it, knocked it over, and busted out the side glass panel. And I was so frustrated at the time, but I try not to, like, don't want to take it out on the kids because they're toddlers. And it was my fault for being in a bad spot. But I remember cleaning up all that glass, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that system. I got frustrated and I just pushed it to the side. Well, you know what? I think that's going to turn into being a good profit heater. It does have, I just booted it up. It has an i7 8700 in it. So that is what, 6 cores, 12 threads. We'll put that to work. That'll work. That dog will hunt. Then it's got that 1070 Ti. And it's actually got 16 gigs of memory. Don't think we need that much memory, so we'll probably end up dialing it back. I think all we need is 8 gigs to be able to run huge pages for XMR. But yeah. So let me go ahead and get this Windows 11 install started. And by the way, everybody's like, why are you doing Windows 11? Why are you doing Windows 11? I noticed you had Windows 11. Why are you doing Windows 11? Windows 10 is losing support. I figured it's time just to go ahead and make the switch. I haven't been having any issues. There are a couple things that I do change and tweaks to be able to get the same kind of performance out of Windows 10 through my Windows 11 machines, but I actually, it's been running fine. I just use it. So yeah, let's get this Windows 11 installed and I'll be right back. All right, so there she is. Got the hybrid, so it's a water cooler built-in EVGA. These were really, really cool cards back in the day. I wish EVGA was still in the graphics card game because they were always putting out some, in my opinion, really nice products. But a water cooler, little overkill for this setup, in my opinion. And it still has, so it still has a blower fan and then a water cooler for the actual die. Now we do have Windows 11 installed. I just put on Chrome Remote Desktop so that way we can go inside and finish installing everything else and get it up and running so I don't have to stand out here in the cold. Because it is a bit chilly out here. So fast forward a little bit, I had this system go ahead and update the drivers. I've done a couple tweaks, but this CPU is still underperforming. It's not overheating though. I'm only getting 2.5 kilohash, whereas an i7-8700 should do a little over 3 kilohash. It is failing to apply the MSR mod, so I do need to go into the BIOS and turn off virtualization. That should get me up, but for right now, it is up and running. We're doing $5.68 per month, or about 19 cents a day. And that 1070 Ti is doing $372 a month, and the CPU is doing $1.93, well, $1.85. It's bouncing around, and it looks like Tari or XTM is actually the most profitable to mine right now. So you can open up the little cog wheel and see the different profitability on the CPU algorithms, and then open up this one and see the profitability on the different GPU mining algorithms. So that is pretty cool, and it just rotates between those and finds whatever's the most profitable. So I am really enjoying Kryptex Miner. I am going to be placing this on more systems, and then yeah, wham bam, thank you ma'am. I will do a dedicated Windows 11 CPU setup guide. So if you're having issues with like MSR mod or huge pages, I'm going to try to cover a lot of the common fixes, and there are different fixes for different CPUs, so just keep that in mind. But there we are, ladies and gentlemen. Now I just need to put a Wi-Fi card in this and move it somewhere inside the house, and she'll be putting off somewhere around, the GPU is showing 130 watts. This CPU is I believe 65 watts, so we're somewhere, or 119 right now. We're somewhere in the range of right around 200 or sub 200 watts. Luckily, this has got an 850 watt power supply in it, and it is a gold, so rating on it and the efficiency is going to be pretty good. Not going to put off a ton of heat, but I think I am going to try to put in an additional something inside there to not only create more crypto, but also to burn some more power and put off some more heat. So stay tuned for that on a future video. If you do want to try to use Kryptex, I do have a link down below, and I appreciate it. It does help me out. If you don't want to use Kryptex, that's cool too. I'll just keep reporting back and showing you guys how it's doing over time, and then you can make your decision in the future. Anyway, guys, I'm jumping off here. I hope you have a good one. I'll see you on the flip side. Adios.